This looks like a comedy from the 90s.
I think that was the winner, too.
Hello again, BookTube. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Rebecca.
And it's still March.
Sure is.
It's March, part 2.
Ooh.
See what I did there?
I did see what you did there. Part 2.
Part 2.
Duh. I like duh.
Part duh.
Duh! Oh my god, this is really like a 90s.
Oh, that could be like our title. Part duh.
Alright.
So today we're talking about Sequel-A-Thon, which is the first readathon we're hosting.
I know, I'm so excited.
Can you list all... First challenge. Can you list all the other...
Shit! Oh no! Why would you put me on the spot like that?
Pull up the chat.
Alright, so there's... Let me see if I can do without it. There's Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy.
Yes.
Samantha.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
You.
Me. I think that's everyone.
Did forget someone.
Who did we forget?
And I feel bad. It's Zoe.
Oh.
How did I forget Zoe?
Because we're horrible people.
We are horrible people.
Like I said, I wouldn't have remembered. I have a horrible memory.
Oh no.
You didn't bring a bottle?
I did, but that would get me through. I feel like there's not as much alcohol in this one.
Yeah, sure.
9.5%.
Oh.
That's so low!
That's
no
like
wonder I'm feeling not really that
3/4.
buzzed yet. It's Sequel-A-Thon.
Hi, BookTube.
Hi, BookTube.
I didn't see you there.
You gotta be like, oh hey.
Oh, hi, BookTube. We were just having a cup of tea.
Anyway.
Alright, we forgot Zoe. We're horrible people. Zoe. You're a book nerd. Zoe is also.
Yeah, you're a book nerd, Zoe.
Is also
And you're a
hosting.
beautiful human.
And she's beautiful. And she's just, what did she just do? Buy a house?
She did just buy a house. And Amanda just bought a house.
Fuckers. I'm so jealous. So let's start with what the challenges are.
Yes, we only did 3 challenges because we just want you to read sequels.
It's short. It goes from the 21st
through the 31st.
to the 31st with a 24-hour readathon on
the 25th.
25th. And we'll be on Twitter. Maybe just the two of us in the middle of the night. Who knows? But for 24 hours, we will probably be on Twitter.
Well, yeah, we'll be on at Sequel-A-Thon on Twitter and just kind of hosting sprints and just reading for 24 hours, hopefully. I took a couple days off work.
Yeah. You'll be tweeting from Sequel-A-Thon. I'll probably just be tweeting from mine.
Oh, true.
I'll be responding.
Yeah.
Sharing.
I think I'm going to try to vlog that. That'll be fun. We should, like, Skype at some point, too, while we're vlogging. And, like, delirious.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. So, what are the challenges?
So the first challenge is to read the book, the sequel, you've been putting off the longest. I came up with this challenge and then instantly regretted it.
Yeah, none of these are that.
Because I've been putting off the sequel for 15 years.
Oh my god. Oh, is that the one you... Okay.
Yeah.
We just talked about March, so...
Yeah, we just talked about the first one. And it's Lyriel by Garth Nix. I regretted this for 2 reasons. One, this book's fucking gigantic. I probably DNF'd this at some... I did start reading it and I DNF'd it. Not really, like, because I was hating it. I just... I was young, I put it down, I didn't pick it back up.
Oh, that happened to me.
And I don't know where I got. I think I got pretty far into it. But if I were to pick it up and start reading it now, I would have no fucking idea what's happening at all.
Too long.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to read Sabriel, and then this damn sequel that I'm putting off for half my life. Garth Nix. Yeah.
It's like Garth Brooks, but less country.
Yeah. Garth Brooks and Stevie Nicks
got
got together.
They made a lovely
and they made Garth Nix,
Nix.
who then wrote about necromancers.
I like the idea that Garth Brooks and Stevie Nicks would have a child and give them his
They made
first
Garth
name.
Nix.
And her
And
last
then Stevie Nicks' last name. So progressive.
I'll talk next about Binti, which I started it and I loved it, and no excuses, I just went on to the next thing and didn't go back to it. But it's not super long, so I think I could read the next couple, at least the next one. Very exciting. I really loved the language. I know it was very sparse language, which I think some people aren't used to for science fiction. That was a complaint I heard about it, but I really liked it tonally. I thought it was very unique.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue with it. What's the second challenge?
The second challenge is to continue with the series you started in 2018. I'm going to go with Al Capone Shines My Shoes by Jennifer Koldenko. I should have looked it up. That was my fault. This is the sequel to Al Capone Does My Homework. It's a middle grade series about a kid that's growing up on Alcatraz. Because there were people who, like, civilians who lived there, whose, like, parents worked there and stuff like that. And he kind of like starts writing to Al Capone. I think is like what happens.
Weird.
It was weird, but the first one was like kind of fun. I thought it'd be good for readathon, especially because I'm picking a couple of other slightly
like
bulky
heavier,
books.
Yeah.
So this one will be quick. Maybe I'll read. I have the third one too. Maybe I'll read that one. Oh no, this is a sequel to Al Capone. Hang on.
Capone Does My Shirts.
Okay, I fucked that all up. So Al Capone Does My Shirts is the first one. Al Capone Does My Homework is the third one.
Okay.
And then he shines his shoes too. I don't fucking know.
Okay, shirts, shoes, homework.
Shirts, shoes, and homework. No shirts, no shoes, no homework.
The next one I'm reading, and this is like a big if, because it's not super long, but it's
much
denser.
longer than Annihilation.
It's a hair longer.
Yeah.
It's just over 300 pages. And,
Okay.
Annihilation was like top of the 200. It's the Southern Reach trilogy, which started with Annihilation, which was made into a movie with Natalie Portman last year. I have heard that the sequels are like a different point of view, and it's like slightly different. So it was like I've been putting it off because I was like, yeah, sometimes when you hear that, you're like, well, it's not.
Yeah, you're not as interested. I'm totally with you.
You're like finish something, and you're like, oh, more of that, but then you hear that, and you're like, oh. But I see where the connection would be. I mean, if you've read Annihilation, you can see why the sequel could very well be from someone else's point of view.
My library has the audiobook, so I think I'm going to try to get it soon.
I have heard... Who did I hear say that it was better read than audiobook? I heard someone say that.
Okay.
I haven't done the audiobook. I will say that I read this during the summer, and I was hiking a lot at the time, and a lot of Annihilation was her hiking. And it made me wish I had the audiobook because I wanted to like
read it while hiking.
Oh my
I
god!
should try that
because it was real. It was kind of like spooky, and I wanted to be like out in the woods with it. Like,
sounds good.
It sounds like spooky cool, right?
Yeah.
So now I kind of want you to read the audiobook, but it might.
So you'll go hiking with me. I'll have the audiobook on, and you'll like scare the shit out of me. Which would be very easy to do while I'm hiking. Because someone scared the shit out of me while I was reading Graveyard Book or listening to Graveyard Book while hiking. That's a middle grade novel about ghosties. Like.
So I'm going to read probably audiobook, The Girl in the Tower, because I did the audiobook of this, even though I also have the copy. But I found the physical copy a little hard to get into of Bear and the Nightingale. Loved the audiobook. It was so good, and like all of the like little Russian bits, thick accent, like
that would be great. I could definitely tell from having read it.
It's really
the audiobook
good.
Would have been great.
So I'm gonna do audiobook for the sequel as well. So I like to have a couple audiobooks lined up simultaneously for I'm reading physical books. So this one is a definite.
The last challenge is to finish a series. That could be 1 book or 100 books. Don't do 100 books. It's 10 days. And I've been putting off completing this series for a long time. So I finally want to read End of Days by Susan E. Mm-hmm. This is the final book in, I think, the End of Days trilogy. I really liked the first 2. Got a post-apocalypse angel fiasco.
What a fiasco.
That was such a hard
ordeal. Gee whiz, that was a lot.
Oh, gee willikers, these angels. They darn gun killed a bunch of people. Oh, the worst.
This is a disaster.
That's it for the challenges, but I have other sequels that I want to read.
So we're going to keep reading sequels. Another one that I'm going to continue with is the Witcher series by Andrzej Sapkowski, because I like these audiobooks. I've read a couple of them now. This is the first one. This isn't the one I'm reading. I'm going to read the third one, which who knows what that is. And it's goofy. It's kind of like basic high fantasy stuff, but there is a lot of Slavic folklore.
I have a lot of sequels that I'm actually really excited for, and I almost picked them for this, and then I was like, I know I'm going to read those regardless.
Yeah.
So I tried picking ones that like I've been having trouble picking up. The next I'm hoping to do is Dreams of Joy by Lisa C. This is the sequel to Shanghai Girls. Shanghai Girls is about 2 young women who live in Shanghai in like the 1930s, and their parents marry them off to these men who then immigrate to America. And it takes place over decades. It's gut-wrenching. It took me a long time to get through. I liked it, but it took me a long time to get through it. So I want to know what happens, but oh, it's tiny.
Oh, jeez.
Tiny font, too.
You know what I've been doing, which I don't need this? I've been wearing reading glasses
Oh,
while reading.
honestly, that sounds like a great
I
idea.
have some with me. You should try it. This is a book I just talked about in the last video. I'm reading this. I'm reading this right now, but theoretically, I will have finished it. This is my first Schwab. So I'm not sure.
She's being schwabbed. The next one I only picked because it's also available at my library, and it's Blood for Blood by Ryan Groden. It's pretty massive. I wasn't going to pick it up for this. I do have it on my 2019 TBR. I want to read it sometime this year, but my library has it, so I think getting it on audiobook and listening to it a little faster, I think I can get through it pretty quickly.
Yeah. I love dense books on audiobook.
I think that would, yeah, I really want to try that more.
You can't just stop. It's easy to just keep it going.
Yeah, and I could speed them up a little bit now.
Yeah.
I don't know how people listen to it at like 3 times speed, but
Oh
I
my
could do
God,
2
that's
times
like-
maybe.
That's unreal. But I do like 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. The last one, I try to get closer to 2, but the last one was read with an Australian accent. And I was like, I had it on 2 times speed, and I was like, what? I could not. It just defaulted to 2. So I went down to 1.75, and I was like, still don't know. Last one I really want to get to, and it's Of Dreams and Rust. This is a sequel to A Metal and Wishes, which is a loose Phantom of the Opera retelling, and I'm reading it for Reread-A-Thon.
Yeah.
And
Whom is it by? Sarah Fine?
Sarah Fine. So it's short. I think I'd get through it very quickly. I don't know why I was so reluctant to pick it up. I think because the first one was a little rough, like Shanghai Girls. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
It's a heavy place to sit in.
Yeah, and if you're having a couple books like that, that's
Yeah. But I definitely, that's higher up on the priority list. I really want to get to that one.
that's how I feel about Annihilation. I really like to read the next one, but it's just
Dense.
more going on.
You didn't talk about the last challenge.
Oh my gosh, challenge.
The bonus challenge.
Bonus.
What Sarah came up with.
Because I just felt like it was necessary. So my idea for the bonus challenge was to name your TBR a classic, goofy sequel title.
Just a fun sequel
An example
title.
would be Part 2. I like, The Reckoning is a classic, or like, what's another classic? The Return.
The Return.
Return of the Read-A-Thon, or
Yeah.
Sequel-A-Thon.
So we were originally going to call this Read Hard with a Vengeance, is what my original pitch for the Read-A-Thon title was. But then I thought Sequel-A-Thon would be like more fitting for like everyone could tell what it is. But I'm still really attached to Read Hard with a Vengeance, so I'm calling my TBR.
Oh, alright.
Read
Oh,
Hard
we're
with a
picking
Vengeance.
2 now?
I think
Are we
so.
picking 2
We
different
can pick
ones?
our own.
I was gonna say, like, Read Hard or Die Trying or something
That's
like
good too. Yeah, we could both have a Die Hard theme. I like that.
that. We're both just gonna read until we die.
I also was thinking about calling it Too Read, Too Furious.
I like that.
Which I also really like. So those are our sequel reads. Please let us know if you're doing Sequel-A-Thon. Please do Sequel-A-Thon with us. Even if you just read one sequel, just read sequels, please.
Or just, pop in for the 24 hours on the 25th.
Yes.
Why didn't we do it on the 24th? That was the 24 on 24. That would have made so much sense. It's not. Don't remember that. It's 24 on 25.
Alright, that's it. Read hard, bitch.
Or Die Trying.